What's going on? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boxing Clinic, and let's get right into it. Top Rank is looking to make Felix Verdejo versus Terry Flagan for the WBO title. That probably will mean that Verdejo will go across the pond to shoot Flanagan a fair one. But let's talk about Verdejo for a minute. He turned pro back in 2012, almost 5 years in June. It'll be 5 years. And he hasn't lived up to his potential. He hasn't progressively gotten better. You can see that he has some athletic ability. You can see the potential for the skill being there, flashes here and there. Just missing the aggressiveness and the backbone, the killer instinct in him. And that's not good. Like you could be the greatest amateur in the world, he'll be a shittiest pro, and that's what he looks like. He's heading down that lane. Now, these guys today, these promotional companies, are always looking the easiest way to get a title. That's why I really don't hold being a world title holder, especially in some sanctioning belts. I really don't even hold it to a higher standard, because these guys find the easiest and quickest way to the title and don't truly earn it, because there's multiple title holders. It's title holders to title holders, Super WBA, regular WBA, just for example, to the title. And they want to walk around like that is shit, but you really didn't, beat nobody. You beat a guy that had flaws, which Terry Flagan has a lot of them. But for Verdejo, man, he's been struggling his last few fights, whatever reason it is. Bob Arum wants him to hold his camps over here in the United States, so he might be distracted in Puerto Rico, and that might be the issue. But it's probably a lot of fighters out there, hundreds and thousands of fighters better than Verdejo, who don't get this opportunity. He getting this opportunity based off his ethnicity, based off that he's Puerto Rican, just like if you're Mexican. If you have some hype behind you, the whole country gonna stand behind you. That's one of the biggest sports over there. Baseball, boxing in Puerto Rico, and he's popular over there because what he did in the amateurs, and the people think he can fulfill his potential as a pro. So the country gonna stand behind him. He gonna pull viewerships. Those guys gonna come to the States and fill the arenas to watch him box. So that's why he's getting pushed the way he's getting pushed, because the earning potential, the popularity, the stardom that he has. And I don't know him personally. I don't follow him personally. Maybe he's feeding into that. Maybe he needs a new team, around him, a new trainer. But I don't know what's going on with him. It's just too much talent there for him not to be able to fulfill his, his potential, or at least be on the right track, trending upwards towards fulfilling that potential. He's been trending down for the last few fights, and he's supposed to be the Puerto Rican answer to Canelo Alvarez, popularity-wise, and definitely he has the skill to do it. Now let's talk about Terry Flagan for a minute. It's a guy that has fought north of 135 before, 140, 142 before. A bigger lightweight, similar to Verdejo. Officially has an inch on him. It's a guy that has little head movement, but very aggressive. Volume puncher because he has to. He doesn't have the big punch, but he just got a TKO a while ago, not his last fight. He got 13 knockouts, 30 wins. But this could be a good confidence builder for Felix Verdejo. For the simple fact that he get a title, and maybe he can take it seriously. Now he can train. Maybe he trains over here, or he trains in a secluded area, and that's why some boxers do train in secluded areas, because you can focus. You get away from the family and the bullshit, and maybe he can really get focused and hone in on Terry Flagan and really show us really has. And maybe he just hasn't had that fight to get up for fight mediocre guys. And I've seen it before in the sport where guys perform at a certain level, can't get up for average fighters, and then when it's time to flash the lights, and even in other sports, they perform their best. And let's hope that's what Felix Verdejo does versus Terry Flagan if this fight is made. But if you have another subpar performance, I think he is what he is at this point. Even though he's 23, I don't think he could change his stripes. If he can't get up for a world title fight versus Terry Flagan and really show us some potential, or the best version of Felix Verdejo we've seen so far, then I think it's time to pretty much put him on the shelf as what he is, put him up there as what he is. He is a guy of talent, but just not a good pro at all. But you know, I think Flanagan, he's looking for a challenge. But I think this is a good challenge, derailing a very popular Puerto Rican star that people think could be the second coming of Tito Trinidad or at least Miguel Cotto. And I think it's worth his while. He's going to make some money. He's going to get paid well. For Felix Verdejo, name does ring bells around the world, pretty much. So I think it's a good fight for Flanagan. Great fight for Verdejo. You know, mediocre jump up in class versus a world titleist. And I think we're going to get the best Felix Verdejo. And I think pretty much I think he's going to show out this fight. I think if he trains, you know, in the secluded area over here in the States, I think we're going to get the best Felix Verdejo. I think he's going to stop Terry Flagan. And I think he's going to go on and do great things. That's just my personal opinion. I think he just needs to change the scenery. I think he just needs an upper echelon opponent, at least a world title holder on Terry Flagan, to really flex his muscle. And, you know, I can't wait to see this fight if it's made. I think it's good for Verdejo, even though I don't think he earned it, but it's good. We gone.